Welcome back to Dropped In. Super stoked to be here with you today, as always, sharing a microdose hit of magic and medicine with you to support you in moving the needle forward in your life and your business. So I've been thinking a lot lately about being a beginner, and whether that is in your life, within your business, a new practice, whatever it might be, it's so important to release the expectations of being a master of anything and allow yourself to be a beginner. And so could you imagine if, let's say, your favorite music artist just quit because things became challenging, whether it was learning how to play an instrument or learning how to master their vocal cords or learning how to promote themselves and learning how to record themselves and to find the appropriate team and to sell at the stadiums. Could you imagine if they quit before things got tough? It's so important to really look at whatever it is that you're tackling in your life to be a beginner, to allow yourself to suck, to allow yourself to fail forward. And I always say that there's no such thing as failure, there's only feedback. So how can you utilize these new practices, these new skill sets, these new learnings, these new experiences that are coming your way to allow yourself to come into the space of building the muscle until, I look back at the videos I created for my Kundalini practice. The first video I recorded was through a Facebook Live, and I had my back against the window and the screen, the recording was directly in front of me. So the video was getting videoed with the light blasting. And so all you could see was black. You couldn't see my body. You could hear me, but you couldn't see me. And then moved my practice to have the sunlight and the lighting beside me, and that seemed to improve a little bit. And then I moved my virtual teachings out into a makeshift studio in my garage. And now I'm here in my studio, mastering my video skills, my editing skills, my recording skills, my audio skills. And it's been a huge learning curve. However, if I gave up when things got challenging, when things got overwhelming, when things became beyond frustrating, when things didn't look quote unquote perfect, because they never will, there's no such thing as perfect, I wouldn't be where I am today within my Kundalini practice, for an example. I have a big picture vision for where my Satnam sessions is going. And, I'm creating huge momentum with this sacred practice for a very affordable price that offers an abundance of skill sets and tools, breathwork, meditations, power practices, full-on Kundalini Yoga and Meditation classes to support you in regulating your nervous system, balancing your glandular system, and clearing out the garbage from your subconscious mind. However, if I quit because my first Facebook Live that I did looked like shit because I was completely blacked out, you couldn't even see me, I could quit them because it was just like, it wasn't perfect. However, I kept leaning in, I kept moving towards building the muscle. I kept really focusing on building my practice. I kept showing up for my big picture visions, no matter how overwhelmed I got, no matter how frustrated I got, no matter how exhausted I got. I kept the vision at the forefront of my mind and kept moving the needle forward. So I invite you to connect with, what are you in the beginning stages of? Maybe you are wanting to start a podcast. Maybe you are wanting to write a book. Maybe you're wanting to speak on stages. Maybe you are learning golf like myself. Maybe you are really coming into a space of scaling your business as a coach, as a mentor, as a healer, whatever it might be. Allow yourself to be a beginner. Allow yourself to suck. This is how we build that confidence, because we continuously show up for ourselves no matter what. We don't throw in the towel when things get challenging. We don't throw in the towel and throw our hands up in the air and say we want to quit. The difference between the individuals who have the success that you aspire to and the individuals who don't have that success is that those individuals that you aspire to be didn't quit. They kept showing up. They kept mastering the mundane. They kept practicing until. So this is your invitation to lean into any resistance that you might be experiencing in your life, any ways that you perhaps just want to duck and cover, you want to hide, you don't want to fully show up. You're coming up with excuses, you're coming up with reasons, you're coming up with all the things as to why you can't do it. Those are all bullshit excuses. Learning golf over this last year has been beyond challenging. It has been beyond frustrating. It has been like the biggest expander for me, because it's me against me. I am not competitive against anyone else but myself. And I am deeply committed to becoming better. I golf once or twice a week. I take golf lessons. I recently invested in a golf program online. We have a putting green at the back of our property where I can practice my pitching, I can practice my putting, I can practice my drives from our deck. So if things got frustrating for me, if and when I want to quit and throw in the towel, I just remember that you don't become a master overnight, and you practice until you continue to sharpen your saw. A beautiful friend of mine who I completed my NLP practitioner with, and we further studied our master practitioner together. We meet every 2 weeks to continue to sharpen our saw, to continue to sharpen our skills and tools as coaches and mentors. I have an abundance of clients that I work with. I have been utilizing these tools and techniques on myself as well as with my clients. And I'm a master practitioner in all of the things: NLP, hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, all the things. And I still practice. It's so important to practice your skill sets so you can really become a master of your practice. Now, I would love to say that I would become a master in my golf practice, and, it's my game against me. But if I chose not to practice, if I chose to not get lessons, if I chose not to really want to sharpen my saw, if you will, I would go out there each time maybe moving the needle forward a little bit, but I would be frustrated. I would just be over it. And so my time is valuable. If I'm going to dedicate 4 hours of my time to a game, you better believe I'm going to take the time in between to sharpen my saw, to get better. It's really choosing to become intentional with the habits you are creating for yourself. It's in the minuscule atomic habits where you learn to master the mundane. And so whether it's easy to do or easy not to do, that is the ultimate decision for whether you will be moving the needle forward in your life, or you will remain the same, or you may in fact retract back. So this is your invitation to allow yourself to suck, to allow yourself to fail forward, to allow yourself to come into the space of being a beginner again. And when you feel like throwing in the towel, when you feel that you are just completely exhausted, perhaps take a time out, but don't throw in the towel. All the things that are coming through for you, that are downloaded to you, are meant for you. And it's up to you to get over yourself, to get over your ego, who's trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you protected, and lean into the resistance and practice until. So until next time, I will see you on Dropped. Thank you so much for dropping in with me today. If you loved this episode, I would be forever grateful if you rated and reviewed. And if you feel called to share it with your community on social media, please tag me so I can thank you personally. Until next time, I will see you on Dropped